Well, we got a decent amount of snow, just not enough to necessarily snow sculpt, but nonetheless, we're dealing with dense fog out there now. We traded winter weather for some gloomy weather. Dense fog advisory remains in place until we get into noon Thursday, so this afternoon actually. But nonetheless, fog does not necessarily end there. This is a good time to tell you that a lot of us have the auto lights for your car. Not necessarily the greatest situation as we head into this afternoon, because even if that is on, this afternoon, your lights won't actually kick on. So sometimes you have to manually turn that on, turn on your low beams, because that's actually what helps. If you have the high beams, not only does it impact the driver that's coming towards you, but it also just reflects light back towards you and doesn't really help the situation much. So low beams are much better for that. Quarter of a mile of visibility up in Bloomington, 3/4 here in Decatur, half a mile of visibility down in Effingham, as well as in Paris. So use caution as you're out and about early this morning, even going into this afternoon. There's going to be some patchy fog, but you can see that the station in front is the culprit for the reason why we're getting fog, rain, and clouds. Anytime you get a stationary front to start to form on the back side of it where we are, that's exactly where you start to get those three factors, especially a lot more so for that fog rather than rain, because you can see rain chance down towards Nashville where that front hasn't reached yet, but the fog typically will form always behind that front, and that's what we're getting. Now we're in for a couple days of gloomy weather. We've already seen that, but you can see that moisture pump coming in from the Gulf of Mexico interacting with this area of low pressure. Keep in mind, air and pretty much anything to do with the atmosphere always goes towards the area of low pressure, away from the area of high pressure. So that's why it's picking up the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. And as this area of low pressure tracks to the north, eventually through southern Illinois, we get more rain chances as we head in this afternoon and even into the evening. You can start to see something starting to pop up down towards Springfield. It's going to be light to moderate showers, but that's where the moisture is really going to kind of come from, at least regionally. Obviously, much of the moisture is coming from the Gulf of Mexico. So Futurecast is going to continue to show the rain opportunities increasing as we head in towards noon. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a few sprinkles on the occasion before that, but this is at least a heavier, or I should say typical showers, kind of the cluster showers that you can expect, starting to be more widespread as we head in this afternoon, evening. Light to moderate showers by the time we get to 4 o'clock. Umbrella is going to be helpful, as we'll bring an additional ½ inch in some cases across the area. Good news is, looks to be out by the time we get into your Friday. Not going to rule out the chance for a light sprinkle on the off chance going into your Friday. I just think many of us look to be a bit drier atmospherically speaking. Obviously, the ground is completely saturated. That has to do not only with the rain that we received, but also with that melting snow. So a lot of our backyards have some puddles in there. You may have noticed that some of the potholes across the area obviously filled with water, making it a little bit harder to see that, which of course is a big issue right now, is the potholes, because, well, the cracks expanded whenever we had that ice and the cold weather. Now that it melted, well, it's just left nothing but potholes. So again, ½ inch possible of rainfall across parts of central Illinois. Many of us falling shy of that 3/4 of an inch, but not going to rule out an isolated chance to hit that 3/4 inch. Today, 44 degrees, foggy with rain out there. Use caution. Again, use your low beams. Tonight, 33. I'm not going to rule out the chance for some patchy fog, but I think many of us won't be dealing with such dense fog as what we're dealing with now. Roto-Rooter 70 forecast will continue to show the opportunity for some showers south of I-70 going into Saturday. Maybe Effingham. Not likely to see it here in Decatur, though. Mostly cloudy conditions by the time we get to Monday, with a few showers overnight. Otherwise, temperatures well above the average, and we're pushing close to 50 degrees with sunshine come Wednesday.